Okay. After finishing my morning sit, I felt inspired to just record some off-the-cuff remarks on maps and models of practice, how it develops, what unfolds, and the practical utility of such things. I'm not going to say anything new here that hasn't already been said or written, probably better by someone else elsewhere, but figured I'd throw my take into the ring. You can read, compare, contrast, consult with other practitioners, teachers, cross lineages. You can read this book, this book, this book. Here's Longchenpa, Shards of Rinpoche. Um, or you can just read a whole bunch of confusing and often contradictory information on the internet from people who may not actually be that steeped in whatever tradition they're claiming to represent. Or you might work with someone's, self-developed model that only they really understand the intricacies of. Um, it's like you'd like to go somewhere in rocky, rugged terrain that you have no familiarity with, and you take a couple of steps and realize, I really don't know how to get to where I'm going. And luckily, there's a library just at the beginning of the path that has all of the maps of this territory in many different languages from many different times and cultures. Uh, but they all contradict. They all come from different cultural contexts of this mapping the territory of the human mind and heart. They use different signage, and the topography might have even changed depending on various factors. And they might, in all likelihood, they're probably taking different routes through the territory and maybe even ending in different places. And maybe there are a couple of people inside the bookstore or who claim to have gone all the way and mapped the whole territory themselves, um, who will tell you, I've done all of this. I've walked the whole territory. I've done all I've read all the maps, and in fact, they all agree. And here's my simplified model of the whole thing. um, I wasn't quite sure what the point of recording this was when I started. Uh, the point is, how does this help any of it, really? Your own body, your own mind, like right now. Does knowing the factors of mind at play really make that much of a difference? Does knowing anything about any other methods or techniques or paths or models, the visions of Dzogchen, the yogas of Mahamudra, the 16 stages of insight, the eight jhanas, you could go on. Many different koan stories. Kensho Satori Dagotete. Does any of this do fuck all, really, right now? Maybe, maybe it has some utility. The cat has decided to come in. So I wrote a blog post not too long ago. Find find a method, some methods, with a qualified guide who understands where those came from, how they unfold, tend to. the various pitfalls that usually come along with them, and just do that. Just practice that method, those methods with guidance properly in proper context. You don't have to figure it all out yourself. I mean, you do, but you don't have to reinvent the wheel, um, or compare all of the different wheels and try to make them all one wheel somehow. um, I've tried. Okay, I think that's all I wanted to say. Have a wonderful day, and may you find whatever it is that you seek.